Hey everybody, it's John from our Hodgepodge Homestead. Today I'm out in my garage, my shop, and thought somebody was sneaking up on me. And what I'm going to make today is a killing cone out of a 5-gallon bucket. I'll show you all the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a 5-gallon bucket, obviously. You're going to need some zip ties, measuring tape, a drill with a bit on the end of it. I use an angle iron to cut it. You could use any kind of saw you had. Angle iron's easiest for me. Some power. Bring some power down. And get this plugged in. All right. That's all you need. Well, no it's not. You're gonna need a marker or pencil. I'm gonna need glasses. So what you wanna do, you find your center point on your bucket. I use right where the handle is. Then you wanna take and you wanna mark it. Close enough to center. And then I just use a square. Just a square. Gives me a good line. I go all the way up with it. Right up to, oh, you can't see, can you? And my bucket's kind of wet. It's raining outside today. Let me angle you guys down just a little bit so you can see this, where I'm doing down here. Okay, so what I did was I just put a line all the way down. So I've got my center. Now I want to take my tape and I want to go 6 inches from that center line. All right, so 6 inches from the center line, both directions. And this wet bucket is not doing my pen any good. So we're gonna go the old-fashioned way, and we're gonna go to a pencil. All right, so now what you wanna do, I've got my center line here. I went 6 inches both directions. I'm gonna match my lines up, and that isn't working either. All right, let me get a rag, dry this off. And now I'll get a different marker, and maybe it'll work. Okay, so you make a mark. So basically you're just going to have a triangle here, right down to 6 inches. Doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it's close. Okay, so now I have my mark. My triangle goes down this way, comes over here, comes back up and down. Okay, you also want to cut all the way around the bottom of your bucket. You just want to get rid of that whole section. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, and I'll be, oh, I get on my face. Huh. I'm going to cut that out, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so now we've got the bottom of the bucket cut out, and we've got the triangle cut out. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is cut from here right straight up, just one straight line. And I'll keep you here for that because it's a quickie. Okay, done with the angle grinder. 4 cuts. Move this out of the way. Alrighty, so now what we want to do is create a cone. Let me re-angle this camera so you can see what I'm doing down here on the bench. Uh-oh, hope I didn't break that. Okay, so we're going to angle this down. This is the only kind of hard part. I don't know. Yeah, hey. the things that happen. I guess maybe this bucket sat outside just a little too long. We'll have to start over. I'm keeping it real though. Hodgepodge Homestead, this is a hodgepodge bucket. But I got a brand new handle. Some things only happen to the crab man. Okay, I'll be back with you guys with a new bucket. Okay, so I left you guys off with the dry rotted 5-gallon bucket. I suggest go to TSC, Home Depot, wherever, pay $2-3 for a bucket. They're food grade, number 2s, that's what you always want to look for. The other one I had, I mean, you're killing a chicken in it. It's not like you're eating off it, so it would probably be okay anyway. But as you saw, it snapped in my hands, it was dry rotted. So I went and bought 4 buckets of TSC. And what I did for you on this one is I actually marked, basically you go off the center of your handle. That's the center of your bucket. That's your first mark you want to make. From the center of your bucket down here on the bottom, you want to go 6 inches over to this line, both ways. So what I do is after I get this marked out, I cut the bottom off. I use an angle iron. You can use a saw, skill saw, jigsaw, whatever you want to use. I use an angle iron. And then once I've got the bottom cut out, I come and I cut out my angles up to this point right here where they meet. And then I come from the top and I cut that down. So basically, none of this is connected any longer. And I'll show you what that looks like. So basically, there's my first cut, there's my angles, and then I cut right up through the top of the bucket. So, another thing in the beginning of the video, I showed you kind of all the tools you need, and I found that if you got a couple of these little clamps, that also helps you hold the bucket in place once you find your measurements. On the bottom of your cone, you want to have 4 to 5 inches down on the bottom of your cone. So what I've done is I've already bent this over just to make sure it wasn't going to break. And let me get my drill right here so it's ready to go. I've got my zip ties. Basically, you just want to bend this over, and it is kind of cumbersome, especially it's cold. But I'm going to take this first one right up here. And that's clamped in place. And then I'm going to bend the bottom. To get it clamped. Sorry, I'm not showing you very well. Right there. It's not going anywhere. So then you want, like I said, you want to measure it. I want to get right about to that 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches. So I'm at 4, a little less than 4.5. So we're good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to go right down here to the ring. You want to do 2 holes. Right next to each other. All right. And when you put these in, make sure you put them in so that this part of the zip tie is on top, because you don't want an inside. That might affect getting your chicken where you need it to be in there. I don't know that it would, but why let it take a chance? I get them as tight as I can, and I come through, snip that right off. I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing. Again, keep the top of your zip tie upstairs. And these killing cones are going to be put into action this week. Okay, I'm just going to continue and do probably 3 more. That's what I pulled out. It's 5. So when I'm done with these, I'll get right back with you. Okay, so I got all my holes drilled, and now I'm just trying to find them underneath. That's the hard part for me. I can't do anything left-handed either, so there we go. They sell these in stainless steel, and I'm sure they probably sell them in plastic somewhere for probably, I think the stainless steel ones are $35 or $40 a piece. I'm not sure, I've never really looked, but I mean, why buy them when you can make them this easy, this cheap?
Still easy to clean too.
Yeah, oh, very easy to clean, and I got them red so the blood won't show.
Oh geez.
Yeah, it was an afterthought actually, but yeah, but I'll take a file and I'll get a lot of these little squiggly things off here. And there's one more thing that I cut off that I've noticed a lot of people don't. But I'm going to cut it off on mine. Okay, I'm going to take the clamps off. And watch this, everybody.
Putting them away when you're done?
I'm going to put my clamps back. I do it now because if I don't, in 3 or 4 days, my shop looks like my grandkids played in it for 5 days. That way, it's in its place, it's got its place. Okay, here's your cone now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these sharp corners off here. So I'm just going to take and basically cut right along this lip. And I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, like I said, I'm going to take a rasp or file. Notice where I knew right where that was? That's because last time I used it, I put it back. I used to be terrible. I was a procrastinator. I always...
But you also worked full time and was always chasing your tail trying to get everything done when you had time.
Had an hour drive one way to work. I'd work, I'd come home, do chores, because Heather worked, you know. Cold doesn't bother me, cold really affects Heather. So I would just always do it. Okay, now there you go. There's your killing cone. Now what will happen is when you, I'll show you, I got to build a frame yet, but that's easy. But basically, I'm gonna bend this a little bit more. So it's kind of got more of a little hook on it, a loop.
Will you take the plastic off it then?
No, I'll leave the plastic on. But there you go. It'll just hang like that. It'll be about this high because I don't want to bend over. Because what you do is you take and you cut their carotid artery. Stuff the bird down in here. Their neck hangs out. Slice with a really sharp knife. And within about 5 seconds, they're bled out. So it's the most humane way, I guess, to go. So there you go. You know, if you wanted, you could even take and come along this line right here and maybe put another, I might do that. I might put another zip tie right here, just keep that tight. So matter of fact, let's do that. That way I know. Go this way. And my thumb was completely firing up the way. If I'd have slipped, I probably would have got my thumb. Okay, there we go. Like Al on Lumna Acres always says, I like it. I like it a lot. I watch Lumna Acres every day. Okay, so there we go. I think this was, threw my receipt away for him, but I believe it was $2.99, $2.39, something like that. This one's it. Yeah, this is it. TSC. I didn't think they'd take them back once I cut them all up. TSC bucket logo red gallon $2.99. I didn't buy a lid because you don't need a lid. So for $3, you got a kiln cone. I'm going to build my frame out of old 2x4s. What I might even do is just attach some 2x4s to the wall of my shed. I've got a couple pieces of steel that I could use as a backdrop on it so blood doesn't get on the shed. And just hang them. And there I go. I'm going to have 4 of them done. And I will be butchering chickens, I'm thinking Thursday. I've got 20 of them out there. They're pretty meaty. So anyway, I don't think I'll do a video on that. I think we've already done a chicken butchering video. That was early in our days though.
If we knew how to link it, I would, but
yeah, we can't do this, so I'll link it above or I'll link it below.
Yeah. I could put it in the description below, but I don't know how to.
Yeah, well, I could describe it.
That's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's how I do my kiln cones. And here at the Hodgepodge Homestead, we like saving money on our own kiln cones, and you should too. See you guys on the next one. I would really appreciate it if you guys would like this video. If you do, press that like button, subscribe, and share it to your friends. We're trying to grow our channel, and that's the way it happens. So do it for us. See ya.